Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today, for December 29th, 2025, we'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, etc., etc. Let me test something. Uh, it looks brighter than it is. It just, okay. I don't know. That's a cool look when the light auto adjusts, but once I let that go, then it fades. This seems a little more proper. I don't know. It's subjective. Um, anyway, hope you guys are having a good cameras here. Hope you guys have a good have been having a good morning. It's Monday, but it's like after the holiday, the Christmas. So who knows if you're still doing Christmas holiday stuff, or maybe you're a little bummed out when that time comes and you're ready to get back to the work week. But we do have New Year's coming up. So while there is some back to the grind, there's also some more holiday stuff. So yeah, I am working today. So um, I'll get a little break of Xenoblade, which is pretty much all I did all weekend. So yeah, we did have a show Friday, and I did discuss what I've been playing and everything. So yeah, no more of the Christmas talk. It's more of the weekend talk. Um, and really, the weekend gaming talk would just be Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I want to say how surprised and shocked I am that I am enjoying this game as much as I am. I had no idea. I had no idea. Even when I'd seen the combat before, I always loved the look of the open world, the mechs. But then I'd hear, oh, you don't get the mechs until later. And it's not like a true real time action game. But just something in me just always wanted me to play. I think a lot of it had to do with the mechs, but also the open world. Like those are two aspects. It's like, okay, I might try this. And as I'm playing Xenoblade, I get flashes of Halo, flashes of Star Wars Outlaws, flashes of Assassin's Creed, flashes of Breath of the Wild, Dragon's Dogma, uh, Immortal Phoenix Rising. All of these open world games I've had fun with, I'm just seeing flashes of this everywhere. And, just thinking back to when they were working on this game, originally on the Wii, Xenoblade, and then like what they wanted to do with these types of open world games. Like something in me was like, man, there's something about this that it's like there's a vision there of the ultimate open world experience. And doing a little more research, I found out the developers, Monolith Soft, that team worked on the engine that is the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom engine. And that might not be 100% correct. There might be more details on that. But from what I was looking at, and they're a team, and we see this a lot of times with prestige studios in Japan where they work among each other. Like some of these guys are Bandai Namco guys, Monolith Soft, Nintendo. They're all always working together. And by playing the game, I feel the open worldness where it's like this game was made as an open world game first, because I like open world games when they do specific things, and this game does all of those things where it's expansive. The draw distance is amazing. The height, the verticality, it goes super high up, and you could fall down forever. Not only that, but how seamless it is just traveling around, fast travel anywhere. Nothing feels like a slog, because in a game like a JRPG, the biggest complaints are sometimes the respective time. And when there's grind, sometimes you can feel like, okay, this is not respecting my time. Likewise, in open world games, sometimes you feel like the game's not respecting your time because it's telling you to go back and forth, and then you have to travel vast distances, all that stuff. But this game seems to make sure that doesn't. I do feel like there are some times or some missions where I have to fight enemies takes a little longer than it should, especially if I need them to drop a special item or a certain item for that mission. That's the only time it really feels grindy. But so I might as well just jump in. Well, and let me say good morning, Ultronimus and Jump Killer, because these guys actually played it too, which is pretty crazy because I think that informs a lot of decision making when it comes to playing video games. So it's cool to be in your company. But let's see. Yeah, Monolith. Well, welcome to JRPGs. There's something for everyone if you look long enough. Yeah, and so that's where I feel like the JRPG delineation comes in, because the only thing about this to me that seems like it's a JRPG is its combat system, where it's not fully real time, but it's that's kind of a quirky Japanese thing to have these combat systems that are just not typical. But other than that, it plays exactly like I was saying, like Dragon's Dogma, Assassin's Creed, Star Wars Outlaws, Breath of the Wild. It's like it does those things, the open world thing first. So I'm able to overlook the the lesser combat mechanics, yeah, Monolith Soft have been doing open world for quite some time, so they got lucky. Yeah, it seems like that was the original vision of Tatsuhiko. I actually don't remember how to say his name. I guess because he was originally working with Squaresoft and making Final Fantasy, and then they rejected one of his pitches, and they decided to turn that into the Xeno saga, Xenogears, or whatever the original one was. But it is, as he went, his focus was the open world, and so that's what I find amazing about the game is the tech, the tech behind making the open world work that other companies haven't been able to achieve, and the fact that that's in Zelda. So the Breath of the Wild that kind of revolutionized games and um Zelda and open world stuff. It's like that's a Monolith Soft thing. That's like veteran Japanese SquareSoft developer mentality. And I find that interesting because the open world, the general open world, came from the Grand Theft Auto idea, the more of the let's cause chaos everywhere. And so then it's almost like games were built to be super realistic to where, oh, you could open world games to where, oh, you could do something here. Whereas it feels like the Final Fantasy, where it came from Xeno, that direction of the open world, where it gave us Zelda and Breath of the Wild and all that, it was more of how do you make it feel like you want to stay in a world and explore it all the time, not where can you go destroy things, where can you go explore. Um, and that's what I'm definitely feeling out of this. So if we look here, um, oh, Xenogears was a grand. Oh, you know what? Let me change the screen here. Let me show this. This is the hours. I put 26 hours, 10 minutes into this. It was about hour 20 that I got I was about to say the Xenogear. No, but I got the Skell, which is the mech, which it completely changes the gameplay, which is crazy. And then sometimes I don't want to have to get out, but then sometimes you do, and it's kind of fun. Like another thing that's very, when I was describing games, that this reminds me of Elden Ring, totally Dark Souls. So many reasons. One is I love just coming across like a cave or a cavern or underground thing. I'm like, oh, and if I'm in my Skell, I have to get out to explore it. And I did one just before the stream, and there was a level 30 Titan in there. But also, the thing with the mech, the Skell, what I like about it is if it's destroyed, you have to go back to the main hangar, base, barracks, whatever, and get a new one. You have to pay for it, and it costs a lot. So there's that element from the Souls games about wanting to be careful not to F up. Considering this is real time, but it seems turn based. It's cooldown time. It's cooldown based, which is almost like a real time turn based. I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to get into the specifics of the action, but it's really to try to explain what I'm feeling. Um, so yeah, 20 hours in, got the Skell, changes the gameplay. Don't like being on foot, but I could still do it every once in a while. Well, actually, I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just when you're in a mech flying around, you could jump around anywhere. I'm just going through the map, just collecting FN points, whatever they call them, the little probes, or not collecting, but you know, inserting them into the ground. That part's fun. And then I come across areas where, like, man, I want to get there. I'm not supposed to be here yet. I'm telling you, I'll play. I'll think of Breath of the Wild. I'll think of Tears of the Kingdom. I'll think of Dragon's Dogma. Tons of Dragon's Dogma stuff. Having your a crew with you that you're outfitting yourself with gear and all that. Okay, let's see. Ultron Xenogears was the granddaddy of this all-in fun JRPG. It also had being able to do combos in or out of mech while being turn-based. Oh, okay, okay. So the old ones are more turn-based. It was from Jim Kellogg's. It was one of the many ideas born out of the workshop that led to Final Fantasy VII. Another game being Chrono Trigger. Yeah, that's right. I read about that too. Which, funny enough, that was a game I was trying to play earlier on this channel. I didn't really play it. And so here's another thing I think that happens is I'm so ingrained into the video game culture at the level that I am, not like in terms of pop culture, but in terms of the feeling of playing mechanics through games, through the generations. And so what happens when I am like Chrono Trigger is a good example. I can't get into JRPGs, but Chrono Trigger represents the essence of gaming, of that era of gaming. Playing Xenoblade, I feel like represents the modern essence of what to achieve in gaming. You know, having the open world, the JRPG aspect, all these systems in place. And I don't know how it was on the Wii U, but on the Switch, it is super accessible. There's so many systems in place, either it's because I really like it or I'm just getting it. So that's one aspect of it. Um, well, let me move on just for a second and I'll get back. Oh yeah, you can get insurance. I can't remember how that. Yeah, me neither, because it even said like I had insurance. Then it says insurance zero. I'm like, well, where do I get it? So, I want to bring up something real quick. Speaking of, so in that whole 26 hours, I only had to look up a couple things, and it was actually very interesting. One was the items I needed to get my license for my Skell, and one of them was to fight this Titan. And I would go there and it would never be there. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's later on in the game, whatever. And then I read online. Oh no, it was the little. If you click the right thumbstick on the bottom right, it actually gives you detail of your currently selected mission. And it was explaining to me that this is a rare occurrence for this Titan to show up. So I'm like, well, okay. I mean, what do I do? Do I just go play and do something else and then figure it out later? I don't know. So I researched it online, and they were saying to just respawn at that fast travel location over and over and over and over and over until the guy pops up, and it took a while. So to do that naturally would be insane. So I think that's one of the elements of the game that's either maybe too padding that makes or it's made that way, like a Souls game where you're going to communicate with others to say, hey, this is how you do it. Because let's see, what was another one? There was something else where it said, I forget. There was something else I had to look up and that I would not have known if I didn't look it up. But again, it had to do with a time thing, not like, yeah. If I remember, I'll bring that up because I thought it was interesting. Because I wanted to go, well, actually, no. So while I wanted to go as far as I could in this game, my idea would be, because I didn't know if I would beat it, my idea would be I don't mind researching things to keep me going. So I'm happy I went up that far without having to look something up. It is in the past you could leave messages that would play for others to see while online. My favorite was this is an aggressively beautiful game. So yeah, I like that. I like leaving messages for others. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna just mention one other thing. I did get the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection. It was on sale on Steam. And really, I just wanted to play Street Fighter 3 Third Impact. I remember either I got it on Dreamcast and I never see it was like one of those games I wanted on Dreamcast, and when I finally got it, I never played it. I've played the game before, like even since then, emulator, whatever. But this is one of those where this 30th anniversary has a bunch of different Street Fighter games that I've never beaten. You know, I've always played them. And so this is a way to like beat them, get the achievement that says you've completed Street Fighter 3 Double Impact, Third Strike, whatever. Anyway, I think that anyway, then that was a little I thought I needed a palate cleanser from all the Xenoblade. But no. No. I just saved my state and then moved on. And the only other thing I think I played this week was probably Friday night. Or no, maybe it was Saturday. It was with that Nicktoons with my wife that we'll have to No, that was Friday. Yeah. Oh, this hasn't updated. Let me see if I can update this. Although it wouldn't be much. But yeah, that Nicktoons and Dice of Destiny. Fun game, but I got Xenoblade on the mind. So was that it for that? Here's something interesting that when I talk about playing games nowadays in modern times with the way we can, the tech we have, how we can do it. I'm all about being able to play anywhere. That's why I kind of like Xbox's messaging, because for me, I like that I can be somewhere and play. So with Xenoblade Chronicles X being on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 is one of the best platforms for that. One, I'm shocked how good it runs on the Switch 2. I would rather prefer it look better, 60 FPS. Sometimes it seems like it is 60 FPS, I gotta say. Um, Higher resolution. There's things you can do on PC with an emulator, but I like that I could just pick up and play, have it docked in the living room, take it out of the dock, sit on the couch, come into my office, sit in the chair in portable mode, or like I've been doing for the stream, I bought a really cheap dock adapter that plugs into. You have to have an HDMI input, but I got a dock adapter. Yeah, it's pretty much just a dock, a portable dock. That's not a Nintendo brand anyway. I have that hooked up to my computer, and it feeds through OBS, so I can sit here and play at my computer. So that's the benefit. I wonder how much more I would be able to play if that didn't exist. Thinking about other games I was playing, like when I played through Terminator 2D No Fate recently, that was all on my computer. I don't think I played any of it in the living room. I was just so focused on it. Arcade like, it's an arcade game. So let's see. I think the whole takeaway from that is the Switch 2 came in handy. I will say I do not like the Joy-Con 2 controls at all. I never liked the Joy-Con controls. And then I bought the MOBA Pad MHD. I think I'm saying that wrong. I think there's a 6 in there. That is... Oh, I don't have them here. I think they're upstairs. But I've shown them on here before. They're just really comfortable, basic controls. It's like pro controls of a Joy-Con for a Switch. They don't have that yet for the Switch 2. A lot of that doesn't exist yet. I've seen some devices for like $20, $30 on Amazon that is it's not a dock, but it's something you plug into the Switch 2 with two controllers on the side. They're pro-like, but it's one of those things where it's like all these different brands I never heard of, but they're using the same design. So I kind of just want to wait. But what I'm actually using right now, I don't know if I can show that off here, and I've shown this here before. It's just this silicone grip that adds a little more thickness, and it covers the buttons and the D-pad, so it feels a little better than the standard. I'm not really a fan of the Joy-Con. And I think the Joy-Con is the perfect example of why the Switch 2 is successful. The Joy-Con's being made for accessibility. It's not being made to be the best controller. And so that's how Nintendo works. So there's no news, guys. There's no news. So this popped up. Fantasy Life I, the Gross Steals Time Sales Top. Well, I don't know. And yeah, there's not much in terms of news. I do, however, wanted to real quickly talk about. I've been logging the games I've been playing this year, because I'm going to have a Game of the Year video go out on New Year's Eve, and I'm just thinking about the games I've been playing. And what's really interesting is Avowed. Avowed, yeah, was the first game I beat this year, and I loved it. And that's the game I didn't think I would like, because it's a Western RPG, right? What I think I'm starting to like about RPGs nowadays is they realize, for some people, not all, it requires like a lot more into like the mechanics. Maybe closer to hand-eye coordination, but also strategizing. But like with Avowed, the game's in first person, I put it in third person. Like that was one accessibility thing I was able to do to just make it more my thing, but also how I was playing dual wield weapons. It's about left and right weapon balancing. So the whole time I'm having fun thinking about, okay, using weapons in conjunction with each other to me, that's the game. With other people, could be, oh, I'm playing a game that's an adventure game where I'm gonna go, you know. But for me, it's like, no, no, no. This is an action game where I have these weapons that you see what I'm saying? And but Avowed did the open world thing, the exploration. It felt like Dragon's Dogma. I was like, oh, this is my Dragon's Dogma, which was I think it was my game of the year last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let's click 2024. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. Astrobot. That's, you know what? This is interesting. Astrobot was in my top 5 last year. I would totally change that. There are other games that I would put in front of Astrobot. But I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Interesting. Last year was really interesting. Okay. So Avowed, as cool as Avowed is, Xenoblade Chronicles X does the same things, but better. And that's further down on the list here. Sorry. Could I? It's like, could I make this smaller, but then no one would be able to see anything? Yeah, so what was Avowed is now Xenoblade Chronicles X, and what was Guns of Fury, which was a 2D side-scrolling Metal Slug Metroidvania, that was my other game of the year. I beat that at the beginning of the year. I changed that to Terminator 2D No Fate. They're similar enough where when I sit down to play and do my thing, Terminator 2D No Fate is what I would sit down and play. But this might not be final. I'm going to make a video. Yeah, again, it will be out New Year's Eve. Just while I go through and talk about my top 5. And what's interesting is I have, the games that I played a lot or beat from previous years, like the Smurfs and Smurfs 2. I don't know if you guys remember Record of Lotus War. That was great. That was that PS4, not PS4, Metroidvania. Speaking of PS4, Godzilla PS4. This was, I'm so glad I was able to get this game again. And I think out of all games, I put more hours in Godzilla PS4 than any other game because I'm trying to beat it. And you have to just play over and over and over. It's crazy. Previous Front Mission Evolved PC. The only reason I have this on here is because I beat it before on the 360, just never on PC. So Devil Blade Reboot. So this came out last year, and that would actually be my game of the year if I played it last year. That would definitely, that would bump Astrobot out. Devil Blade Reboot is amazing. And then It Takes Two. Yeah, that's what I played with my wife. You know what? Let me do a little, I got an idea. I don't know how later I am going to, because I feel like I don't do multiplayer games as much as I could, or I do, I guess I don't talk about them as much as I could, because we played It Takes Two, Split Fiction, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds not only was such a fun multiplayer game, but it looks like it's in my top 5. Could be the game of the year with how much I played it. And then 80s Overdrive, just a fun. It's just like Outrun. I was not expecting that. Hey Steven, spreadsheet to track games play. That's taking nerdiness to a new level. Hell yeah, dude. I started it last year with my 2024 list, and it's almost like I do this in conjunction with that exophase, right? Like I have exophase that I use so I can track my achievement. Feel like what games have I beaten? What games can I go back to? And then I have the spreadsheet for games that I might not even think of, that it's like, oh, like there are so many games I started this year. This could be another video that I want to be able to finish. Alien Rogue Incursion, a Lest Collection. I forgot I bought that. Bayonetta 3, Snake Eater, that got a little boring. There's so many. So yeah, having the spreadsheet is the ultimate gamers, like, hey, I play a lot of games, I need to keep track. You gotta. And it would be cool though if I could just feed this stuff into ChatGPT with an export of my exophase. I don't know how to do that now. Oh, Jim Kellogg. I was about to say that's the most we'll get from news site at year's end. Retrospectives of game of the year. Yeah, that's really all it's going to be. Oh, looking back, I'll have to look at that. the replacement skill without having to pay for a new one. I forgot. Okay. Thanks for the chat, guys. We're gonna have to have a Xenoblade talk sometime. But speaking of Xenoblade, yeah, let's do that, Steven. Hey, but Steven, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles or any of them? Because I feel like this is your game. Let me hold up. What is going on? There we go. Sorry a second, because what else is there to do but to play this game over and over forever? Oh, really? Okay, so you've heard it from him. Oh yeah, I needed to do something here. I have to do this thing, and it requires me to change my class. So that's the other thing it does really well. How it as the game goes, like missions require you to mess around with the systems of the game. All right. So here's my dude. You can zoom in more. And Steven, there are so many things this game does that would blow your mind. Okay, so yeah, there's my crew. We look pretty cool. I gave everyone just some casual. And then there's the little potato guy there. He's just following me. I did not ask. Okay. And here's my mech. Hell yeah. So you can walk around in the city, and I love how this is my favorite thing, the camera. How you can like totally change the camera to get that. And look, I'm like jumping around like crazy. And then you can get out, and then you can make it like a prestige PlayStation 4 game, where like the camera, oh, you do first person, where like the camera's like so close to the character. Like this is stuff all you should be doing. Okay. Now that I have the thing I need, I think I did it right. Was it this? Yeah. No, not that one. Yeah, I guess it was this one. Wait, this could have been the wrong mission. Let me double check when we get there. Okay, well, this was not what I was wanting to do, but let's do this anyway. Why are you just out in the middle of the field, lady? Alright, and then yeah, you can like, it's cool because you can zoom out. You can zoom out quite a bit and just run around on the world like this. And this is insane. You can see things flying around. Or, you go in tight and play this more like a traditional action. Uh-oh. I didn't. Play this like a traditional action game. Alright, hello, lady.
Hi.
Okay. So, I know I told you guys that I don't skip the story. Typically, I don't, but I'll sometimes just kind of breeze through what a character's saying. Yeah, this is some stuff that, you know, is in games that I kind of don't care, because I'm not, like, mechanically doing anything right now, right? But, like, what you choose, I just saw the heart popped up over a character, like, affects people. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yep. And what's cool too is you'll be out and exploring the world, and you will not realize that you'll complete missions. Okay, what? All right, let's go. I don't know if it's gonna be easy for me to get there from. Oh yeah, that seems like it. Maybe. Yeah. And that's what's cool about this game. Like, they're not limiting where you can go. If you can like go up really high, just jumping. Okay, this is pretty great. All right. Hopefully, she'll ask me to fight some stuff for her. The second part was at Xenoblade, X being so sci-fi. Yeah, I'm really curious to play the other ones. I mean, I am going to now that once I beat this. Now that I'm totally into this. Oh my god, some of this stuff is stuff I don't care about. Like, I would say what you guys are seeing right now is probably the most boring aspect of this game to me. Is where the characters sometimes are just. It's like Benager on the bridge in Unicorn, just like going off on like. And it's like, what? What are we talking about here? No, I might be able to just. And that's why I like this game. Just fast travel over there if it's really that far. Yeah. Yeah, the sci-fi story is very interesting, Steven. It's strangely, I think it wants me to fight this because it's in the way. And it has Target in green on it. The story at the beginning is very much like Battlestar Galactica. So I was a little surprised. Okay. So anyway, here's the combat with the mech, and my people don't have mechs yet, so they're just on the ground.
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Take this! Take this! I'm not missing this chance.
Furious blast! Got it. Let's take it in close. Arcing horn! Slide! Flicker!
It would be cool if they do the cockpit thing here.
Side slash! I really need some heals.
Take this!
Cockpit time.
Now we're talking.
It's hard to tell, but it's like, wait, why doesn't a Gundam game do
I'm
this?
not missing this chance.
I'm getting all this mech fun out of some JRPG.
Slide horn! Flicker! Furious blast!
Ready?
Arcing horn! Move in and do some damage.
I haven't been moving around a lot because it hasn't mattered yet, but I think it will at some point.
Somebody fix me up.
Cockpit time. Yeah, I feel like Arnold is still.
I know you can. You can do it.
I'm not missing this chance.
Upper hand. Blast. Arcing horn. Slide. Slinger.
Take this!
Fire. Fireball.
Go! Go! Now! Closing out! Clean up!
My turn.
Didn't see that coming. Gun them
Like
down.
this.
Looking good!
Fire. Enemies destroyed. Move in and strike. Scream edge.
Okay!
Arcing horn. Spiral horn.
Now! Clean up!
Upper hand. Oh God.
Wide
Take
open!
it in close. Iron fist. Now, my turn.
Alright! Feel like a new man.
Alright, cool. Was that it? Now I can go back. Cool little mission. Okay, you know what? I do got to go. It is 8:35, but you can kind of see where I'm at. If you guys got tips since you've been playing, let me know what I could be doing. And Steven, you got to play this game. It does everything. I'm surprised. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Hope you have a good rest of Monday. We'll talk tomorrow. Hopefully more video game news. But until then, have a good one. See you.